Video, I will demonstrate the implementation of our data dashboard. There's two steps involved in this process. The first step is to create a handshake class within the data view source code. This class will set up the handshake between the data dashboard and the data view. So the input here is the workflow name and the handshake ID. And let's look at the code of this handshake class. As you can see in the handshake class, there is a main method that takes two input parameter. One is the workflow name and the second one is the handshake ID. And then it would execute the workflow, which is right here, experiment.run. So once this workflow gets executed, the output data product name would be inserted into our handshake info table along with the handshake ID. Okay, and that you could see it here. There's a unique handshake ID followed by the output data product name, which was generated by the execution of the workflow. Okay, so that is our first step there. And then the second step is to create a JSP web page for our data dashboard. And in the JSP page, there is a button. When the user click on it, the handshake class in data view will be invoked by providing a workflow name and a unique handshake ID. So how is this handshake class being invoked in the data view? Because the data dashboard and the data view could be two different websites and could be in two different machines. So how does the data dashboard invoke this handshake class? And this invocation happens through SSH. From data dashboard, we can do SSH to this data view server and execute the handshake class remotely. Okay, and then we just pass the workflow name as a parameter and the unique handshake ID. So the unique handshake ID is I'm using timestamp for the handshake ID because it is unique with milliseconds. Okay, and let's see how that works. So this is our data dashboard, and as you can see, this is very simple right now. It just has one button that's called Run Analyzer. When you click on it, after a few seconds, you would see the output of the workflow. Okay, so the output of the data analysis is 500. So what is this 500? If you check in the data view, we have a workflow called AWF_divide. So let me open that. You see, this workflow has two input, 200 and 400. When I run this workflow, I get the value 500 as a result. So this result is the same as this result that we get in the data dashboard. Okay, and one can easily verify if this works for different data input. Okay, so I'm going to check that. Let's see. Okay, so let me connect, for example, 20. Okay, I'm going to connect 20 here. So the result should be 100, right? After I save this workflow, I save it, and then I go here, go back to my dashboard, and then run the analyzer again. Okay. Now you could see that the output of this data analysis is 100. All I did is I just changed the data product here and then saved it. And you could also verify it by running it here within data view, and then you get the result 100. So data dashboard is then is going to call this run button. It's going to execute this run button remotely for a particular workflow. Okay, so either you could go to the data view and click on this run button, or from data dashboard it makes it very simple, and it is easy for the user to click on this run analyzer and then get the output instantly. Okay, thanks for watching the video.